The very first thing we'll be showing is the lilies. We did move these into current. The picture you see this on the right is basically your uh, current picture of what the varieties look like right now. They will be moving some of these lilies into the cooler. If you look at this picture, if you look in the far back of the left picture, there are some, they are starting to crack some color, but we got a lot of it is still just not, yeah, that area. There are some, they are going to start cracking a color. They're going to move those to the cooler so we can slow those down for you. But these are, we go ahead and move it to current. The very first one is the tiny rocket. It is zone 4, zone 2 to zone 9. We're good 14 inches to 16 inches in height, 10 to 12 inches in width. Now this is a red variety. It does well mostly in normal to sandy clay. Now these varieties of lilies, they're more of a midsummer bloomer. You'll just see them only blooming now. Once they're established, they'll be blooming in the midsummer time. Right now, they're just starting to bloom and show color now because we're forcing them. But that's something to just keep in mind. We'll tell your customer that these are truthfully once established midsummer bloomers. They are best plant when they're in massive groups, and they're made good for sunny borders. This is most of these are going to be part of the tiny series. This right here is the tiny pearl. This is also zone 2 to zone 9. It's a 15 to 18 inches in size to 12 inches to 15 inches in width. This is a deep pink, which thinking pearl, I'd be thinking was a white, but this is a pink. Once again, midsummer bloomer. Does best planted when in full sun to partial shade. This has huge flowers that attracts butterflies and hummingbirds, and also good for group massive planting, mostly in the middle of any type of landscape design you're doing, and also good for being in mixed containers. Next variety. This is the Lily Tiny Pehai. This is one of our hot varieties. It's also zone 2 to zone 9. It's 16 to 18 inches in height to 10 to 12 inches in width. What's striking about this variety, it is just more of a sort of a beautiful bicolor. It has a stunning white frost on the edge, where it's mainly more of a red ruby color. This variety is very hot. People really love this one. Once again, it does well in normal to sand or in clay soil. This is another variety. It's good. You want to plant this in groups of clumps, and also too, it's good for your containers, and also makes good container mix decorations for your patios. Next variety. This is the tiny nugget. This is another beautiful variety. It is more of a golden yellow with speckles of red across the inner brim of the flower. This is also zone. Now, this one is considered to be a zone 4 to 8. Once again, these are midsummer bloomers. It does good in the full sun to partial shade. It's once again, mostly all of these lilies is the same thing. They're good for mass planting and also in container planting. Like I said, this variety here, they're mostly in buds. It's not showing color, but like I said, it's got some good shelf life for you and your customers. So this should do well for you. Let's go to the next variety. And then the last variety I'm showing right here is the Tiny Moon. Now, I'm just showing you some of the varieties. We do have a lot more of these. We did move into current, so you just have to look at the listings. This is considered a zone 3, 9, 12 inches to 14 inches in height to 10 to 12 inches in width. Now, this one is more of a nice salmon, a peach, relaxing color. It is 19 centimeter. It also, once again, it does good in normal sandy or clay soil, midsummer bloomer, and also it does good for mass planting in the middle of your landscape, and also for a good mixed containers. Next variety. This is one of the newer candy varieties. We just went ahead and moved to current. This is the Coreopsis uptick, yellow and red. It's also commonly known as tick seed. This is also zone 5 through 9. We get 12 inches to 14 inches in height to 12 to 14 inches in width. This is a yellow with a beautiful red stunning center to it. We have these at 19 centimeters. It could be handled poor to average soil. This bloom time for this is considered to be early summer to late summer. Good for borders, containers. Also make great cut flowers. and it's considered to be deer resistant and butterfly and bee friendly. Go to the next picture. This is the geranium Max Ferry. Most of these, right, this is another variety we just canned earlier this year, but it is ready. It is well rooted. As you can see here, it is also known as bloody cranesbill. Out of the geranium varieties, this is it's not as aggressive as geranium roseanne, but it does show the same characteristic when it comes to flower. It's more of a short, compact ground spreader. It has a reddish purple flower. This is 19 centimeter in pot. It prefers medium to well-drained soil. And the bloom time of this is mostly late spring. We got these in controlled heated houses, so we're starting to show some color right now. This variety, like I said, it is flowering. It does good for landscapes designs and borders. You can put these in the front of your containers when you're doing patio design. Next variety. This is GM Tipo Orange. Now this one is just for foliage only. It is considered to be a variety because for bud and blooms, but it's not showing any buds or blooms yet. But it does have nice foliage, and we did move this into current. This is a zone 5 to 9. It will get 9 inches to 16 inches in width. It is more of a more of an orange flower. It will turn more to a salmon as it progresses with age. It prefers to be in moist soil. It does well in part sun. Mostly when they with part shade, part sun, usually they want you to have at least get 6 hours of sun, whether it's in the early morning or perhaps preferred in the afternoon. The bloom time for this variety is between April to June. But like I said, it's not showing any buds yet. It's just the foliage. Keep that in mind. It does have a numerous double to single blooms when it comes to flowers on it. It becomes peach to orange blooms as it progresses and ages and fades. These are more of a short stem, but it does have a good long blooming time on this variety right here. Next variety. This is the Petticoat Peach. Now this variety, it is showing buds and blooms on this one. One thing you keep in mind about these varieties, as you can see in the picture on the right, they want to droop, almost like a teardrop. This is the natural forming habit of this variety. As you can see, the picture on the right is more of this in the landscape. You don't want your customer thinking there's something wrong with it. It's just lacking water. No, this is a natural growth habit and forming habit when it comes to the blooms for this variety, for both of the varieties that I showed you. This is a zone 5 through 9. It'll get 10 to 12 inches in height to 16 inches in width. It is also a 19 centimeter. It prefers to be in moist to well-drained soil. Like I said, this is another one you want morning sun and afternoon shade for this variety right here. It blooms late in the spring to early fall, so you got some good lasting blooms on this. This variety is considered, you can do divisions on this. They prefer to do this once, maybe every 2 years or so or more. They say if you're going to do splits on this, you prefer you do this in the early spring or in the early fall. It is recommended you deadhead this if you want to encourage a lot more flowers on this variety right here. And it's also considered to be deer and rabbit resistant. Next variety. Now, this is a last minute thing we just doing. Jeff, Tom, and me, we're driving around. We're trying to help you out with giving you more varieties to put into current. I know we were discussing, we're trying to make this on Wednesdays, have it all done. But this is the last thing they want me to go ahead and move to current. This right here is a hydrangea Invincible Ruby. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is the natural season crop. This variety is not in heated houses. So the tricky part about this is that you might have this on some orders. You might have some customers that might have some enhanced hydrangeas. You just might have to keep this in mind. This is natural season. This is where this plant is right now. This is a zone 3 through zone 8. It was get to 3 feet to 4 feet in height to 2 feet to 3 feet in width. It has a beautiful ruby flower. It prefers medium well-drained soil, and this is a rebloomer, so you can trim it. It will regrow. It has a dark red flowers, and it has a really dark, rich green foliage to it. It prefers to be planted in the direct sun. So just keep that in mind. But like I said, the last thing I want to say with this, just keep in mind, this is the natural season crop. This is not enhanced. So just keep that in mind, please. And I think that's all I have for right now.